Hello, I'm Amy Johnson, and welcome to this week's edition of the IceCaps Weekly Wrap. Taking a look back at the games played by the St. John's IceCaps over the past week, it wasn't the easiest week on the road for the IceCaps as they faced the Rochester Americans twice and the Toronto Marlies once. We start things off last Wednesday night in Rochester in what looked to be a statement game from the IceCaps. They found themselves up 5-1 early in the third period with 2 goals by Charles Hudon, a goal by Jeremy Gregoire, Gabriel Dumont, and Morgan Ellis. But then the tables and the tide seemed to turn and pucks started getting through the net. And the IceCaps ended up falling to the Rochester Americans 6-5 in this game, giving up 5 unanswered goals in the third period. It was a devastating loss for the IceCaps, and they came back Friday night to face the Americans one more time in Rochester, and this time they weren't going down so easy. And again, we had Charles Hudon with a goal. Brendan McNally was the one who scored 2 goals in this tilt, as well as Morgan Ellis scoring another one and Max Freeberg adding to the tally. Again, they put up 5 goals on the scoreboard for St. John's, but this time the Americans couldn't seem to solve the goaltender, and the IceCaps came out with a big team win 5-3 over Rochester on Friday night. Then they boarded a bus and drove to Toronto overnight. Woke up early the next morning for an early afternoon matinee at the Air Canada Centre against the Toronto Marlies, and the fatigue looked to be setting in. Although they did score the first goal right out of the gate by Brett Lernout, the Marlies then went on to score 4 unanswered, leading 4-1 early in the second period over the IceCaps, and they just couldn't seem to find the rally in them to get back and climb back for a comeback. Looked like Bud Holloway and Charles Hudon once again did also score goals in this game, but they also fell to the Marlies 5-3 in this one. Transactions for this week were fairly simple. Travis Brown, Angelo Michelli, and Mac Bennett were all sent back down to the Brampton Beast, with Brampton's close proximity to Toronto over the Easter holiday. Bennett and Michelli were able to play for Brampton on Sunday before being recalled to the IceCaps, while Travis Brown remains with Brampton. And also in the meantime, an ATO was signed by defenseman Tom Parisi, who signed, as I say, an ATO with the IceCaps. Looking at the week ahead, they finish out their last road trip of the regular season tonight, which is Tuesday night, again in Toronto against the Marlies, this time at the Ricoh Coliseum. Game time is at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 p.m. Newfoundland time, and then they head back to St. John's, where they'll have their last homestand. It's a 6-game homestand starting this Friday night and Saturday night with a back-to-back against the Lehigh Valley Phantoms, who come to town for the first time this year. Those games begin at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. Newfoundland time. Thanks so much for watching this week's edition of the IceCaps Weekly Wrap. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter to catch all of the action as it happens at IceCaps Report. And be sure to log on to the website IceCapsHockeyReport.com for game recaps, analysis, news, and so much more. Thanks again for watching. I'm Amy Johnson for IceCaps Hockey Report.